What is up, Capricorn, and welcome to your 2019 January reading. And welcome to your birthday and welcome to your season. I'm starting off with your video first and just showing my love for you. I have been shuffling before we began so we can get right into the reading because I did want to give out some announcements. The first of which is that I am still offering my $5 readings up until the end of the year. I know that's going to be a couple of days from now when I put this out, but as long as you get it to me by 11:59 p.m. on December 31st, and you can kind of lock in that $5 deal. Another thing is that I launched my brand new website full of astrological readings, another place where you can order tarot readings, and I launched an apparel line, and I'm just going to show you briefly. This is the Aquarius one because I am an Aquarius, but each shirt is super, super soft, and it has the constellation to an artistic rendering degree because the constellations are all over the place. But it has the the constellation superimposed on a natal chart wheel with some, celestial things in the background, and then of course it has your sign here at the bottom. So that is my website, starsandskin.com. I will leave everything you need in the description box below. Go ahead and cop yourself one. But without further ado, let's see what is coming up for Capricorns, January 2019. You guys are starting it off with a bang. We have a new moon in Capricorn that is also a partial solar eclipse. So as far as Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Rising, the nodes have moved into your sign and your opposing sign, Cancer. This is a big deal year for you, and January 5th is the big deal time to set these new intentions for your life and what you'd like to experience not only in 2019, but for the next year and a half. So let's see what tarot can say. No clarifier needed here. We're coming into the reading with the energies of the High Priestess. And then we have a present position of the Knight of Swords. And then we move very brilliantly, what did I tell you, into the Sun. Whoa. Into the Sun. That's this partial solar eclipse happening in your sign, January 5th. Your bottom of the deck is the Ace of Wands. I love this energy for you, Capricorn, because this is a brand new beginning. This is information coming out. This is the authority of information that you do receive. This is communicating from a place of authenticity, from strength, and from self-love and self-worth. So coming into this reading with the energies of the High Priestess, let's talk about what this can mean in the shadow. So a lot of Capricorns been doing your readings for the last 12 months have been going through these undulations of good, no, I'm worse, no, I'm bad, no, I'm worse, and then I'm worse than bad. And you could have felt like a lot of that was due to the fact that you didn't have the full story, either from a person, from a situation, or just from the universe, just from God. And you're kind of living in this position of maybe blind faith. And blind faith always requires that you don't have all the information. And who here is the keeper of information? This is the High Priestess. The major arcanas are coming in strong for you, bookending your reading, that this is going to be a lift off and a catapulsion from this place of, I don't know what's going on, why is this happening, my faith is being tested, I do not have all the information, but I'm just going through it. And then we see you here emerging in the present position as this Knight of Swords. Now the Knight of Swords, it's a crusader for truth, a crusader for information. This is someone who goes after what they want to know and does so with this bravery. If there's anybody you need to close ties with, if there's anybody you need to have a conversation with. Now he is seen here optically marching in to the High Priestess. This person who might be keeping secrets from you, the person who you feel has the answers. Now this could be very esoteric, right? I love to get down into that, which is, are you seeking information from a higher power? How does the Knight of Swords interact with the High Priestess when this becomes about seeking higher knowledge? Well, this is about meditation. This is about praying. This is about getting yourself aligned with the truth of the information that you'd like to receive. Now, in the real world, the High Priestess for some of you could be an entity or a person who seems like they or he or she or it has all the answers, and you just have not been able to reach them. Now, it could be an actual person if you're waiting for a job, if you're waiting for some type of thing from a government entity or state government, federal, all that stuff, and you need something to be coming in for that. If you're waiting for a person to come around, maybe a person was pausing and they weren't ready to get into a relationship or to do this or to do that, and to you it feels like they are the high priestess. They're the ones who are keeping the information kind of behind this veil and are kind of controlling what you do and do not know. So what happens in January is that either you get fed up and you're like, I'm searching up this information, whether it's literal information, information from a person, information from an entity, whatever that is for you. And you're doing so with this bravery of spirit, which I love for you, Capricorn, because you have been knocked down so many times this year. Like I said, I remember even where we started off this last year in 2018, there have been a lot of blows, especially in your personal relationships. So what happens here in January is that you are returning to this place where you are becoming the active participant in your life. You're not just sitting around and waiting for things to happen to you. You're not just sitting around and waiting for the high priestess person, entity, situation to just kind of shroud you with mystery. She's also this behind the veil card. She's this second step after the magician and before the empress when it becomes physical, and the magician when it's just an idea. The high priestess is the actual inspiration. She's the actual information that you need to get going, to know, hey, where do I stand? And so with you marching into her this January with this Knight of Swords, there is going to be truth coming out. There is going to be information coming out that you need. There are going to be people coming out that you need to hear from, and that you need to work with, or that will be helping you this month. And that is a very, very beautiful place to be starting the year, especially around, I wouldn't be surprised if this happened around January 5th. And for the Capricorns who feel like this is a big ask, for people who have been kind of thrown down in the mud and don't feel like they're ever going to get to this place of empowerment, because that's where the Knight of Swords is generally, this empowerment of information, the empowerment of communication from others and ourselves, once again, whether it is in conversation or communion with others, or just this up and down vertical conversation with you and the universe. Now, what this means for you is that right around the time that they like to say when eclipses happen, like these vortexes open up and that you're in higher communication with the universe. What's going to happen is around January 5th, you could find yourself finding out something, someone comes in to help you, you get this sudden wave, which is this this Ace of Wands is kind of grounding this reading. You get this wave of enthusiasm, this wave of courage, this wave of spirit that's going to spring you along to really tie up the loose ends. And tie up the loose ends really is kind of a boring theme for January, aside from all this beautiful like bravery and empowerment that's happening. But it will be a tying of loose ends, so that by the time January 5th rolls around, or by the time even February gets started, that you are completely starting from a new place. And I'm hearing that whatever you need to tie this up, to complete the story, to complete the drama or dramas, is happening for you this month in January. Now I want to focus all my attention on the sun. And this is where I'm going to get very preachy and emotional to you, because when the sun comes out in a reading, that is the energy that is speaking the highest. There could be the worst configuration. Of course, you know me, I don't do worst configurations. I'm the silver lining tarot reader, but there could be the most devastating cards and the most challenging of cards, I'll say. And if the sun comes out, that is it. That's that. The sun keeps everything in orbit, keeps everything living, gives us life. Now, in this reading, the sun is coming up to not cast a shadow on negative things, but to really bolster and embolden and enliven and enlighten these positive things that are going to be happening for you in January. And I love that this is happening in January, because it really sets the tone for the entire year. Now, the sun coming out, what does that mean? That means that you are being led down a path of warmth. You are feeling free again, like a child here. You are having victories. You are having successes. It is maybe in relation to this thing or this person or this piece of information that you're really going after. Once the crusade with this Knight of Swords is over, once he is at the peak, the end of his challenge, the sun comes up. You will be victorious. You will be successful. And as you journey along this path, if you do not feel this way, if you do not feel sublimely optimistic, just know that the sun is following you. Now, the sun is this outcome card. And when it's the outcome card in January, it can more or less speak to the outcome of the year. So as you are dealing with these things, when you're feeling the sun, you're not feeling the sun, just know that you are being guided by cosmic companions. They have your back. They light your path up with this warmth. They light your path up with this knowing that you are in the right place at the right time. The sun is this all-giving energy. He never asks us to repay him for the sunlight or for the trees growing or the plants are growing or the beautiful sunsets. He's just steady in the sky, always providing. So I want you to know that as you embark on this January, not only will you have these tangible physical successes in your world, with a job and with relationships and with people and with money, you're also going to begin to feel that manifesting inwardly. You just feel like you're inwardly guided and warm and lit up, and you have your compass kind of aligned to this North Star, which is the sun, which is always there for you, always providing. So this is a very, very beautiful reading for you, Capricorns. This is seeing you out from any darkness or coldness into the warm and loving hands of the universe. Information, situations that seemed impossible, people that seemed impossible are flipping and turning around this month, and this sets the seed for your entire new year. Let's talk briefly about this Ace of Wands, which is as you go through this January year, what the universe is January month. Well, it could be your whole year. January last year felt like a year. It was a long month. But this Ace of Wands energy is going to be kind of rooting you with this drive, with this momentum. Should you feel like, oh, I don't feel up to the Knight of Swords task, this High Priestess person, entity situation seems a little bit too mysterious, too scary. I'm not sure about my conversations with God or the universe. I'm not really about that. The sun, I don't know. So what's going to come in and anchor that so that you can actually feel it and manifest it is this Ace of Wands energy. This Ace of Wands energy is the vigor, passion, drive, and enthusiasm. And this is a gift from the universe to you. And this is something that you need nothing to ask for. It's just something that is going to appear. The only things that aces do ask for is that you get the energy, you get the drive, you get the momentum, the spirit or the happiness or the confidence and the self-esteem as well. And you do something with it. You share it with the world. This is you doing something with it. You light up other people's world as you feel lit up from within. As this month continues, as the solar eclipse comes and goes, you will feel this increasing amount of warmth, increasing dividends from the pain that you had to go through, and that's being mirrored here with these two very fiery, very warm, very get up off your butt and go have a happy life type of cards. But I cannot iterate even more that the sun in this reading is just the most sublime place to be starting this year. And sincerely to a lot of Capricorns, rising, sun, moon, stelliums, who have been going through a hard time, this is when the script is flipping. This is when, out from underneath 2018, which was hard for a lot of people, we begin again. So if you can in any way, around January 5th or even 4th or 6th, these energies are going to be open for at least 6 months after it starts. But if you can do something ceremonious on that day to really seed and know within yourself that this is going to be a year of monumental change, of hope, of courage, of optimism, and ultimately happiness, and it starts here in January. All right, not Aquarius. I'm sorry. The other Saturn-ruled sign. All right, Capricorn, this has been your January reading. Of course, if you need me something more personal to your situation, if this resonated or did not resonate, even more of an invitation to reach out to me. $5 readings until the end of this year, and then they're just going back up to $10 for the rest of January, for the rest of the year. So that's it, Capricorn. I love you guys. Enjoy the warmth. Enjoy the joy. Happy birthday. Happy New Year. Make it a good one.